in Arabic. Unfortunately, I don't read French. So Alexander and Carlos should think of writing them either in English or Arabic. Or if you prefer to write them in French, you can do, but one of you will be reviewing to the other. I will not be able to read it, or the group will not be able to read it. Academically, you should write 4,000 English words, maybe less in Arabic. But because this is not an academic course, it's a semi-academic sort of. So choose the number of pages, number of words you would like to do. I would say, and if you write in English, between 3,000 to be good. Like master course essay would be 4,000. So do 3,200, 2,500, so 2,500, something like this words in English. Could be anything to do comparing several translations, could be parsing Arab to a certain text other than what we are studying in the class. Could be linguistic analysis, socio-linguistic, anything you feel comfortable to discuss or to ask a question and to answer. Just to start thinking about it, starting from today, and we'll come to a point where each person will be presenting the ideas and we're having a group discussion, like we have 10 minutes discussion or something regarding the essay ideas. If you prefer to discuss the ideas with me first in private, I'm happy. But just to start think about what you're going to write about, what you're going to research about. Could be parsing, that's a simple thing to do, or could be anything other interesting question you need to ask and to answer. If you feel comfortable, you can, by the end of the course, there's no pass or failure in this. It's sort of friendly group class. We are all learning together. I am honestly learning from some of the comments which you offer. Honestly speaking, I'm not trying to be nice. So if you can do it, that would be great. If you don't do it, you still have, I think, good level of Coptic, but it would be better if you can write something to be proud of. If you would like to send them privately to me to read them and assist them, that's fine. If you feel comfortable that you share your writing, your essay or your bahs or your research in the WhatsApp group for everyone to read and to benefit from what you've written. If you feel comfortable to do this, please do. And again, if you're so busy and you cannot do it, don't worry. But at least try to do something nice so we can finish the course in a productive way. This is regarding the two things for today or for the future. Is everyone happy, or shall we proceed to something else, or you would like to comment on this?
تبغى نعمل بحث عليه بعد شوي.
Emil and everybody, allow me to say this in Arabic. All what I've said in English, I'll just repeat again. بالعربي. اختاري نوع البحث انت حابه، اما تعملي اعراب باصحاح او ايه او مزمور او حاجه زي كده، ان شاء الله حتى باراجراف من، بس ما يكونش نفس الكلام احنا درسناه، مجرد اعراب بس. او ممكن تختاري حاجه تقارني مثلا الترجمه القبطي بالترجمه العربي، الترجمه القبطي بالترجمه الانجليزي، ترجمه حاجه قبطي بالاصل اليوناني. ممكن في حاجات ملاحظات لغويه linguistic، طبعا دارسين بقى بتوع الاداب والحاجات دي عارفوا احسن مننا. انا درست شويه في الجامعه حاجات زي كده في الكورس اللي هو الريليجن، يعني اللي عملته في الجامعه يعني. الضوء انا مش linguistic خالص، لغويات. ممكن حاجات الصفات او السمات الادبيه في الترجمه، اي مجال تحس انك مرتاحه فيه تحبي تقوليه. ممكن تقولي مثلا طب ليه المترجم مثلا في الحاجات دي احتفظ بالكلمه اليوناني ما قالش، ما ترجمهاش للقبطي، زي كلمه ثيوس، كلمه لوغوس، مكاريوس، الحاجات كنا بنلاحظها دي. ما دي اسئله انا شخصيا مش عارف اجابتها. في بعض الدارسين زي ابونا شنوده ماهر، وزي مين تاني معاه الراجل بتاع استراليا ده يوسف نسيم، بيقول اصل كان المترجم القبطي lazy. I'm not feeling comfortable about this explanation. If you have a better، يعني لو عندك وجهة نظر تانية please go ahead. يعني أي فكرة تحسك مرتاحة تعمليها، تاريخ اللغة القبطية، أي بحث you feel comfortable to ask a question and to go ahead with it, please do. ده كلام واضح؟
ربنا يخليك يا بونا.
ايش ربنا يخليك. Is everyone happy about this point? Shall we proceed, or you would like to have any comment or anything else to
I
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Abouna. I'd like to know if we're gonna have some feedbacks about our essays, for example, or if it's just for sharing ideas, or if it's for being corrected afterwards. That's my question.
I will read them. I
Mhm.
would give a feedback. I have to
Okay.
point out that I'm not an academic doctor yet. I've just finished master's in theology and religion.
Mhm.
I also had another master before being a priest as an electronic engineer. So I'm not that academically professional. So it will be as best as I can offer. You always have the right to disagree with me. If you feel comfortable to share and to get the feedback from everyone in the WhatsApp group or in the class, please, you can do this if you feel comfortable. Again, we are all students and we're all learning, including myself. But definitely, I will read everything is written, and I would give feedback.
Okay.
And you are always have the right to disagree. I don't claim that I'm the best person in Coptic. I don't claim that I'm the best academic. I've just finished my master's a few months ago, and if God allows, I'll start my PhD soon, in a few months' time. So don't think that I'm the expert and everything I say is correct and right. And so take it in a simple and friendly way.
Thank you, Abouna.
Thank you, Alexander. في chat حاجة. Emil, please.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Abouna. So very, very interesting to hear that you're going to start your PhD. Hopefully it goes well for you. I have a small question I want to ask. You mentioned in Arabic, I think, about Abouna Shnouda Meher saying as a particular theory about why Greek is used, stuff like that, instead of Coptic words. Do you have some more examples of like contentious issues in Coptic that people have different opinions about that would be a better inspiration for an essay, for example?
In this specific point or something else?
Something else in general that we could write an essay. I mean, this point is interesting, but also just to know, I don't know at all what other contentious issues there are about translations or about Coptic or something like
that. It's a good question, Emil. I need to think about it before giving a good answer.
Thank you.
The contention that I'm aware of, although I'm not interested to put myself into that argument, is how to pronounce Coptic. And Abouna Shnouda is taking one direction, and there are some other groups, including my teacher, Dr. Nabil Ishaq, to take a completely different side of the argument. But I personally avoid that argument. For me, as a person, I would like to understand the text, analyze it, know the meaning, more interested in this than going through the pronunciation. But this is one of the famous arguments we have at the moment at this. Yeah, this is the thing that I can think of for now. Any other argument, especially disagreements, I need to think about. I don't have a good. Magid say, I already started in grammar analyzing the full Coptic version of the Orthodox Creed. Would that be fine? That's absolutely fine. That's a great idea, Magid. Well done. Best of wishes with this. And please not only analyzing grammar, if you have like sort of feedback, compare it, because I think you read Greek, don't you? If you can get a Greek version, say, okay, this is Greek. They kept, for instance, homogenes. It is kept in Coptic, something like this. You give us insight about how the Coptic people did approach the Greek texts. If you can do this because you already speak Greek, you have a bit of idea in Greek. Or if you would like to compare it to English and Arabic, that's fine. But yeah, it's a very good group project. Please go ahead, make it. And you already started it, so best of wishes. Now, let's start our lesson. We'll do this, reading second doxology. I think someone, I think, is it Magid? Yes, he is. He did also upload another version of the doxology, but I prefer to use this one, although it is smaller font, just because it includes the English and Arabic translation. So if someone is struggling with one word, they can look at translation. You can, if you wish to think about a better translation, you can go ahead. There are 6 verses, so let me read names as they appear to me. Each person will be commenting on a verse. Magid, please, you start, followed by Dr. Medhat, second, Emil, third. Natalie, you cannot speak. Alexander, fourth, Carlos, fifth, Madame Salwa, sixth. We've got Nermin, but I think that's it. Maybe next time, Nermin. Sorry about this. Yeah. Allow me to do this. Yes. So please, Magid, start by commenting on read the first verse first, and then take us through the verse, please.
Okay, Abouna. Dinesteia, name B, Shlir, into O, B, Ep, Soti, Enen, Psishi, B, Tovo, name T, Met, Me, into O, B, Shavranav, Emifnoti. T is a definite article, feminine. Nisteia is fasting or the psalm in Greek word, equivalent to be morichon in Coptic, which is psalm in Coptic. Name additive ومع B definite article strong for female. Shlil is pray or prayer.
Just a second. P for what? It's indefinite article for what? Masculine or feminine?
Strong.
Male or female?
Male.
Male. Okay, I got it wrong at the first. Okay, go ahead.
General, strong for male. Shlil is the Coptic word for prayer, and here we find a mix between Coptic and Greek. He can say Tinisteia, name you can say Brosef Shi, which is the prayer in Greek if he's talking all Greek, or he can say Bimorechon, name Bishlil if he's talking Coptic. So here he mixed the two words. Into O, الضمير هم they. Be is the verb to be, they, but here both of them is, not are. He didn't say into O ne, he say into O be. So they combine both of them as one thing. Ipsoti, Eb is the special definite article for male as well. So, Soti is the as a verb is to save or to salvate, and as a noun it comes as salvation. So that is the salvation in connection article here coming as for إضافة genitive. Name is possessive for us, means our. Sishi is soul أو نفوس, نفس أو soul, which is هنا, so it's coming as خلاص نفوسنا, خلاص بتاع نفوسنا أو salvation of our souls. B again is the definite article.
Magid, is it Psishi? Is it Greek or Coptic?
Psishi, Greek word. First, it has the letter Psi, that's coming in Greek word. It has the epsilon as kas, as I sound, so that's again kas. So here, Psishi, of course, that's why you say Psishi, not Psiki, because K will be pronounced as Ch in Greek. B, Tovo, the pure or purity name and T is the for female strong. ميث اللي هو ده اسم المعنى when it same like mate when it's followed by Vilmanor letter it's transferred from mate to mate, and me is the right or the knowing as well. It can so mate me is either البر او العدل, righteousness which is بر or عدل at the same time, give the both meaning.
Justice.
Yeah, justice, yes, العدل. Okay, so T B to vo نمتي met me into O again they B is شبرناv امف نوتي. شفرنا is the let's say الصورة الضميرية يرضي, so يرضيانه. The fay at the end goes the fay at the end address the he, and so they please if noting the please of God.
Thank you, Magid. That's amazing. Thank you very much. Before allowing anybody to ask Magid question, I have several questions. I'll ask one, and I will control myself not to ask more, so I can allow you to ask. Magid, this is generally a question I don't know the answer. I'm not asking you as a teacher now, because I honestly don't know. The penultimate word, shafranav, what part of a speech is it? Is it a noun or a verb? And if it's a verb, what sort of sentence is it?
هو لا I'm not sure يا بونا, بس it's the verb لأن هو واخد ضمير معاه. So
I'm thinking of it as a verb. I was thinking of it as a verb and ضمير الدال على العادة, بس I couldn't manage it this way. I don't know how to say this in English. It's a habitual tense, present tense. That was my theory, but I couldn't prove it. This is my question. Maybe somebody else would like to say. Carlos, you've posted something. Would like to say it yourself?
هو شاب is الحاضر الدال على العادة. هو شاب itself is حاضر.
Yeah, that was my theory.
With M2O, شاب is اللي هو الإثبات بتاع الحاضر الدال على العادة. وأعتقد الفيرب بيجي هنا اللي هو رنا, ده الصورة الضميرية من الفعل. But I didn't get the complete structure of it.
That was my theory at the beginning, Magid. بس يعني أنا when I searched in Ma'awad dictionary, like I didn't work this way. That's why I was asking you. But I'm glad that you are thinking the same way that I do.
Can I ask Abouna? Sorry.
Yes, please.
For Shavranov, does it mean that we can basically split it to 4 parts: the Sha, Epsilon, the Rana, and the F?
Magid, you can answer this, please.
No. That the tense, which is the habitual present tense, with let's say with anok entok entof entos anon entoten ento is shai shak share shaf shas shan sharitain shav. So this is what represents the tense. itself, the habitual present tense with they, with the, so the part shav as overall is this tense. Then the verb itself.
But I mean, the shah remains constant. There's a shah. Always there's a shah, but the letter changes the third one.
The third one changes. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Okay.
So I would say there are 3 parts, not 4, Emil. So shav is
Okay.
one part, rana is second, and the last letter will be the third.
Okay.
Make it a pronoun form or something. I think that is a theory that Magid and I believe in, although I couldn't find a solid evidence supported.
Can I ask a question, Abouna, please?
Certainly.
Why are we using pe instead of ne? Even though it's like two things.
There's a very, very good question, and Magid made an excellent answer, which I like. Magid, can you please say it? Because you said it already.
Sorry, which?
ليه بنقول انسو بي not انسو ني?
By default, it should be ne, because it's 2 things. But here we are making like a combination. Don't think of name as wa, think which is an. Think as it as with ma. So tinesteya name bishil. Both of them together is. So it's not both of them are. And the same comes with bitovo nem timesmi. Both of them together are so not one of them will not fill the equation. Let's say.
Taking 2 of them as a 1 unit. That's why he put be instead of ne. That is interpretation by Magid, which I like, I have to say. However, Salwa, to be honest, if you look for pe, ne, te in liturgical texts, you'll find lots of, for me, strange things. Even in doxology of morning doxology before al-Quddas, you find a few things in Tasbih like this. You say you're expecting pe, you find it te. Expecting te, you find it ne. But for the purpose of this exact verse, I think Magid provided for us a good interpretation.
And with regard to دلوقتي the verb rana, okay, in the full structure, rana is the same rana for the complex one, and for the damiriya is ran only, and so accordingly af is coming together. So ran is surah damiriya from the verb rana.
Right. So you're making it this way then. Oops, I can't. So let me try from here. So you're breaking it this way, Magid. صح? Shav, something,
yeah, shav,
run, something,
shav,
and then run, and then off.
Then it's taking off after that.
So why alpha? Should be phi only, or phi only. Why this way? I would prefer to have it rana instead of. I would add alpha to second part. If it's up to me, I would do it this way. That's make more sense to me. Anyway. Yes.
I got it in. I looked up it in the dictionary, and it's written. There is 2 forms. There is. I'm gonna write it down. It down.
Yeah. Okay.
Just sorry.
Alexander, I think you made a comment early in the chat. Would you like to? I agree. Krolos. That's Krolos, not Alexander.
Oh yeah, Krolos. Yes.
Oh, sorry, I mixed up. Krolos mentioned Ipsiki is a Coptic etymology Greek. That's correct. So it is Coptic coming from Greek origin. Before leaving verse 1, is there anyone else would like to ask Magid about the first verse before proceeding to verse 2?
How do we know? For example, we focus on nen and shishi. How do we know whether the nen is possessive or whether it's the?
Okay, there is two types of nen. Nen might come as possessive with us. It might come as as a definite article, but it comes only as definite article in case of إضافة.
Genitive.
In case of genitive. That's but here we don't have a genitive case, so accordingly it's only as a possessive here.
All right, thank you.
Shall we move to verse 2, or somebody else would like to ask something else? And I forgot who's doing verse 2, so please, the person who is meant to do verse 2, go ahead.
Yes, excuse me.
Yes.
I had a question. Sorry.
Alexander, please. So Dr. Madhat, please, a second. Alexander, please.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt. Yes, you mentioned that Nisteia is Greek, and that there is another word for the Coptic, and I've never heard this word before that you said. I don't remember the word that you said, but I've never heard it in the church. So why?
No, especially for the 40 days fasting, it is being used, especially for this one, mor-ikhon, bimish. So they call the Som Kibir, or the Great Lamp, mor-ikhon bimish, which is special term for this fasting, to distinguish it from any other fasting which call it Nisteia.
Okay.
Anyway, the word more is to hoard, or to what we call it, to tie. The combination with tie inside, that means tie yourself. That's giving the meaning of fasting as a complex, but at the end it is being used as a term, as a terminology.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I don't want to make more time on this because we haven't got much time for the rest of verses. But I would love to ask Magid, can you think of texts that use more ikhon instead of Nisteia, either in the Bible or in liturgy? And if you do, please type it down so we'll not delay everyone from going to verse 2, because I don't want to waste his time only in one verse. So think about it. If you have an answer, just please type it down for us. Thank you. Dr. Madhat, please go ahead with verse 2.
Nisteia fietas oli Moises higen pito shaen tefchi empinomos nan evol hiten epshoisef noti.
Brilliant.
Nisteia زي ما قلنا fietas oli, fiet, which is يعني who what the connection. Oli is to raise. Moises هو واضحة موسى. Higen PTO, higen above or over. PTO is the mountain. Sha'en tefetchi, chi means take أو ياخد يعني. Sha'en شا اللي هو so that أو يعني زي ما بنقول شائني يعني ممكن until or so that or اللي هي حتى يعني
until
until where are we? شائن تفت شي. F is the third person. Chi means take. So sha'en tefet chi means so that he or until he took. Empinomos. M after the verb we always find the M connection, like Moises earlier. and here MP nomos. P nomos, obviously the P is the, nomos is the law or namus. Non for us. So شأنت في شيء MP nomos non. Like we say, if أنت في كان novi non evo. So non for us. Evil hiten through a choice if naughty. Through choice is the Lord, if naughty God. Through or هي through يعني أو عن طريق يعني أو من قبل. In the English it says from the Lord. It's correct, from the Lord or through the Lord or by the Lord. Evil hiten. If choice if not.
Thank you, Dr. Medhat. Can you please comment on entif? Sha until, you said it correctly. And she is, she is to take. What is entif?
F is the third person, referring to Moise.
Yes, so entif together, third person for what?
I'm not sure that the T is ente. Maybe ente is like ente. When we say we find ente in a lot of the things that I can't remember one example now. Of yani, when it is separate ente, but I'm not sure here.
You're thinking in a good way. It is not correct answer, but you're thinking in a good way, Dr.
No,
I like this.
I don't think it's the same thing.
That's a good observation. Well done.
Yeah.
It is a very good observation. If it's connecting two nouns, then it is off. It is a genitive. However, because it is connecting is part of a verb, chi is to take.
Yeah.
So it is a sign of what we call in Arabic الصيغة التعليلية للفعل لكي. So that. Yeah. So it is in English, I would say a causative form of a verb or something.
That's why I understood it that شأنتف so that rather than until. هي حتى in Arabic حتى has two meanings. Means until or so that. يعني in Arabic حتى has so actually the English may be not as good as, because until I think it is so that he received is better translation.
Yeah, it's hard to do it in English. Until so that he would receive.
No.
As a translator, you would choose between
one or the
of
other. No, you don't say until so that.
Yeah.
It's so
but
that,
you still made a good point. Yeah, I agree.
So that he receives. So that he received the law for.
Yeah.
But it's the same. I mean, until he received, as if he waited until he received, or the purpose of him going on the mountain so that he receives the law.
Yes, that's correct. I agree with this. Thank you very much. Again, one more question. M in MOCs, the first one is connecting letter. That's correct. And MP nomos, again, M is connecting letter. Connecting to what? It is a sign of what? What is Arab? What is a parsing of Moses here? Is it is a noun, correct? But is it a subject of the verb, object of the verb? فاعل ولا مفعول به؟ موسى هنا مفعول به ولا فاعل؟
What do you mean? No,
the subject of the verb is the person who is doing the verb, doing the action. Or if you suffer the action, you are مفعول به. So basically, the fasting has done something. Fasting is what left Moses.
يبقى مفعول به.
مفعول به هنا object of
Yes,
the
I'm
verb.
trying
That's
to
correct.
keep it in English, but because it is confusing. But in Arabic, مفعول به. Yeah.
Mm.
But yes,
That's correct. Yes.
is the one who acts is Tinesteia.
Correct.
Tinesteia is the thing that through it or was done to Moses made him. So Tinesteia all through is the, if you like, is the فاعل. Yeah.
Well done, Dr. Madhat.
Tinesteia إنم بشليد.
Yeah, أنت أستاذ. Thank you very much. You've done great. So M here, may here, and may here is a sign of object of the verb. Dr. Madhat took us through all of it in a very, very good way. Thank you very much. Before leaving verse 2, does anyone have any question? Has any question?
Yes,
Ask.
I have a question. In Arabic, we say namus. Is it a coincidence that in Coptic it's nomos? It looks
No,
familiar.
it's not coincidence. It's the same.
Okay,
Because
so it comes from,
the
yes.
Arabic, some words very close. Like I mean, I know that's a Coptic, but it's like in the Hebrew and the Arabic, some words are very, very close. But nomos is a Greek word, and it's well known in all languages. That means low, I think.
Okay.
Alexander, allow me to comment on this for a second because you raised a very good point.
Sure.
I heard a lecture by an Egyptian scholar, linguistic, who used at that time, he was a lecturer or senior lecturer in the University of Leeds in the United Kingdom. Tried now to remember his name. I think his name is Sameh, something like this. And he mentioned that the Arabic translator of the Bible didn't translate the word nomos, the Greek word, into Arabic. The Arabic equivalent should be a Sharia. But you might be aware of what Sharia law is. So the Arabic translator, in order to differentiate between our nomos and between the Muslim Sharia, so he kept it as it is, namus, or just use it as an Arabic. It
But in
is
the Bible,
an
we
interesting theory.
Yeah, but in the Bible we have lots of referrals to the Sharia, but you right, أحكامه وشريعته. في التثنية مثلا كتير يقول لك وتحفظ أحكامه وشرائعه، وشريعة بتيجي كتير في اللانجوج يعني. But the law is very specific to Moses. الشرائع والذبايح والحاجات.
Thank you, Dr. Madhat, for making this comment. Again, we don't have much time. I would have asked you, what do you think of that theory of the Arabic translator avoided using the word Sharia في العهد الجديد? Because you opened my eye to an interesting observation. This is still Sharia in the Bible. So probably I will need to rethink about the theory of that Egyptian scholar. Thank you for this. But in order to save time, we'll go ahead. Yeah, you made a good observation. Make me now rethink of the theory. Thank you. The person who is next, please.
Sure. Tinesteia tietas oli in Ilias pshoi etfe hoas nohem in Daniel evolchen eplakus inimoi. I think the first three words are similar to what's above. So, but now fasting has raised Elijah. Epshoi means up, but I remember. So ep is the definite article for masculine. And then after, and the E I think is a linking letter. Then after that, etfe is a singular, the heaven feminine, in the plural nifiowi. And then o and, or to link again to say, to give like a list or and. As nohem I know is to save, a Coptic word, and S refers back to, is a feminine, is she, refers back to Tinesteia. and the A, of course, alpha refers to past tense, and then in Daniel, and then Evolchen means from. Eflakos is masculine definite article, the F, and then I guess it means the den, and then Animowi, the lion, so of the lions. The N is now the first N in the last word refers to of, again, to link them.
Super, Emil. You've done it extremely quick and brilliantly good. Just one quick question. Shoy A itfe. How do you render A in English?
It's a good question. Yeah, it says in English it says two, but I guess this first letter always has different meanings. Some depending on the context, depending on the word, I guess.
It's a brilliant answer. That's correct. In this case, I would render to two, and it has always has different meaning. Thank you. Okay. Does anyone would like to ask Emil before moving to next verse?
Just to say, owo is and for verbs, as opposed to nem. Nem is for and for names, and owo when it is verb and for verbs. Like here would be Daniel Shoy itfe owo tinesteya fetas oli. That's one verb. Owo asnohem.
Okay,
when you see owo, it's always after two verbs. You're connecting two verbs, as opposed to nem.
Okay.
Allow me, Dr. Medhat, to disagree with you.
Yes.
I'll show you a text from Al-Quddas al-Basili from the Coptic liturgy of St. Basil, and I show you our linking names or adjectives, because I always say this in Coptic, although I pray in most of the liturgy in English or in Arabic, but I always prefer to do this in. Can you see this part? Avici in oik egenevjik, he took bread unto his holy, blessed, life, spotless life began. Say he awa in atachine without blemish. Awa and at suleb without problem or something. Awa again in Macarium blessed. Awa again and Riftanchu giving life. So here is not connecting verbs, it's connecting adjectives. So allow me to disagree with you on this, but it's still interesting.
I don't know, but Dr. Nabil said that's what he said. But I mean, maybe it is, it can be used in both. But
I think it's to connect sentences as well.
I can link both theories, Abouna. Both theories. In general, name is between nouns and names. Or it can make addition for sentences and for verbs.
Yeah,
but again,
as well.
There is one concept. Wherever you can replace and with the word with, you can use name. Okay, and whenever it could only be and, you cannot put name. You must put owo. So if it is one thing, the same element, you are saying it is without spot, and it is blessed, and we are talking about his hand. So we are talking the same thing. So it's not ma, it's not with. We cannot put name here. Same like one very good example in the Bible, in John chapter 20:28. Okay, Rabbi wa Ilahi. We say Bashois or Banoti. It's not, we cannot say Bashois name Banoti, because if we say Bashois name Banoti, Rabbi wa Ilahi, it means Rabbi ma Ilahi, it becomes two persons. But when we say the verse coming, Bashois or Banoti. So,
so what you're saying
the same person
goes with that. So what you're saying simply, yeah. So when you say you're describing like O makarion and makarion, this is an adjective. So if you have an adjective with an adjective, يبقى O برضو زي الverbs. يبقى verbs and adjectives and sentences will be O.
Yeah.
And names would be nem.
Yeah, if I'm saying, let's say, Dr. Medhat named Tasoni Nancy, okay, that's two persons. I'll say name. I'm adding them together. But if I'm saying same like the verse, Maryam al-Magdalene say Rabbi wa Ilahi, Bashois name if say Bashois name Banoti, it becomes Rabbi ma Ilahi, my God with my Lord. So it's becoming as two persons.
Would you mind if I ask you for something extra? Magid, can you type that down for us either in the website or in the WhatsApp group? I may ask Salo and Dr. Medhat to check with Dr. Nabil because I highly regard him and write down his teaching in another text on the group so I can read and think of what I've heard today. It's interesting, Magid. I like what you said, but just I want to read it again and again to think about it properly. That's why I'm asking to have it written. That's all. And of course, I have high regard to Dr. Nabil, who's my teacher. So if you have a chance to check with him and write down his teaching, his
No
explanation
problem.
to us, that would
No
be. Thank you very
problem.
much. We have only 8 minutes to go before Dr. Medhat will leave us. We have 2 verses, so please, next person, proceed.
I think you skipped one, Abouna, the one above.
Have I?
Ben choice.
Oh, okay. We have 3 verses then. Okay, sorry.
Yes. So, okay. So, apen choice Isus Christos, Ernestevin ehre yegon, enehme en ehou, nemehme en egor, sha entefsoten novi. So, it's so you have the past auxiliary, which is the alpha at the beginning here of the sentence. Pen choice is our Lord. So pen
What is Alpha, Alexander?
Alpha is like I would say it's the auxiliary of the past tense or past perfect or whatever, you know.
Past, yeah, that's correct, yes.
Yeah.
Please
So
go ahead.
pen choice, our Lord Jesus Christos. So Jesus Christ. Ernestevin. So er is the particle which is linked with another verb or word or a noun and means to do something and refers to an action of doing or becoming. Nistevin, I don't know the meaning of Nistevin, but I know that is the whole Nistevin means to fast, but I don't know I cannot part this now, so I don't know the exact meaning. Then maybe we'll come
So
back
as
to
a
it.
one word, what does it mean? As a one word.
Oh, it's
Ernestevin,
too fast. It's too fast.
okay, thank you.
So he fasted. So Ernestevin means he did fast. So you have the past auxiliary before. So now it's he fasted or he has fasted. Ihri egon is ihri is on, or usually you have another adverb with ihri. So here is egon on us. Egon it's like when we say ishlil egoi is pray for me. It's like pray on top of my head, like this, because it's like there were Coptic letters which were found dated for back to the 4th century in there, and you can find written inside the priest sending to another priest and ending the letter with Eshli Goy. So here is the same, is Egon. So for us, it's like when you say pray for me, now it's he fasted for us. Here you have the conjugation at the end with the N is for us. The I would refer to the first person. Enehme is so 40. Ehme is 40. Ehoo is day. This is a pure Egyptian word. Name, so we already talked about name. So and you, so I will not repeat what you said already. Name Ihme, so and 40. In Igor is the night. So it's a pure Egyptian word as well. So it has not changed since the ancient Egyptian language. That's cool. So 40 days and 40 nights. Sha intefsoten chinin novi. So Sha is until, as I translated, Sha is until. It's like when you say, I don't know, Sha ini or, I mean, Dr. Medhat Mikhail already translated it. Intef sotem, intef is like in French is more easy for us because it looks like the subjunctive, and so for us it's really literally it's easy for us to understand because we say jusqu'à ce qu'il, so it's like until that or so that if you want, until that he, for the fa is for the third person. Soten, I think soten is like I think is from sotir. Maybe I don't remember this word, but I think it's familiar with sotir, which means to save or a saver. So soten would mean to save us. Novi, so through our sins. Yeah, but I would like some confirmation about soten here, and yes, I think that's all.
I think that's brilliant, Alexander. You've done really, really great. Let me stop share for a second. Yeah. Alexander, unfortunately, you've gone away. We cannot have the time to ask you a question because we run out of time. Thank you everyone for being present and being on time. Those who didn't read this time, please remind me next time. I'll try to remember you to start the class next time. So hopefully next time we start with those who haven't read. It will be John chapter 12, verses from 12 to 18. That is the story of the Lord's entry to Jerusalem. Nani Igor, Ogay Chinepshoy